Alright guys, we're finishing off the AFC. This freaking sun, holy crap. Yeah, that's going on. Either way though, let's go AFC West, final AFC division to grade their schedules. Let's go. Obviously, this is a pretty crappy division, but we still got to go through it. Screw the Chiefs. Let's go AFC West schedule rankings. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the AFC West 2024 schedule rankings. I will be going through each AFC team schedule, West team schedule. Again, it's the last team in the AFC, which means we're halfway done with these. We'll do the next four over the next 4 days, and then again, starting out roster grades to go up until probably, my guess is around late August, thinking that's when the season obviously starts to boot up, which we will get to that when we get there, but it's a while before that. Either way though, Denver Broncos, let's look at their schedule. They obviously, what is it called, kind of choked at the end of last year, and as a result, they benched Russell Wilson the last 2 weeks of the season, and you want to know what happened? Well, they got Bo Nix as their quarterback now, and see how it goes. But again, I'll talk about the preseason games. First off, they got a game against the Cardinals, 4:30 on CBS in the preseason. We'll get to that when we get there. Again, later in the offseason, obviously. Colts and Packers are their other preseason games. But looking at this team's actual schedule, it's not a great setup, but honestly, I think they do have some opportunity to win games. First off, Week 1, going to Seattle. That is a game that's not going to be easy to win for them, but overall, again, I don't think it's the worst possible game they could have had. Yes, they will have to, at least offensively, it's going to be a challenge for sure, again, with the rookie quarterback and all that, but again, if Javonte Williams is able to run the ball well, that defense is able to force a couple turnovers, they could have success in that game. Versus Steelers Week 2, that's a game that's also going to be hard, but at the same point, the Steelers have not had success in Denver since the last time I can remember my time in his team have struggled there, so again, if they were to put it all together, I really think, again, they can start at 2-0. Will they? I'm going to probably say no, but again, 1-1, 2-0, that is a possibility. 0-2, also a possibility, but again, I think they'll be able to turn out one of those games. At the Bucks Week 3, another game that'll be a little tough, but at the same point, again, another game I think it is possible to win. At the Jets Week 4, I don't know about that one. At least, again, first off, their defense is going to have to play very, very well in that one. Not only are they going to stop Breece Hall, but they have to get Aaron Rodgers can get his in that one as well. I don't see them having a great game here. Again, also offensively, I think they're going to struggle in this one. So, at the very best, they'll probably be 2-2, to be honest, guys. I don't see them going into MetLife and winning that game. Back-to-back home games versus the Raiders and Chargers, both games. Again, bottom feeders of the division, really, all these other three teams. Again, I think these are both games that are winnable for them, and I think they're going to have to win it with some of these games coming up. At the Saints Thursday Night Football short week, that game's not going to be an easy one to win, but again, that game will probably be pretty competitive. So looking at it so far, 4-3, 3-4 is probably going to be, I don't know about 5-2. Maybe if they get out to a good start, say they get 2-1 here. Who knows? Maybe they'll be 5-2. I don't know for sure, but again, 4-3, 3-4 are very real possibilities for this team, which again isn't the same you can say about some of these other teams that are again kind of in a retool in some sort of way here. Then they got the Panthers Week 8. I mean, they got to win that one. If you got to be honest, I mean, it's going to be close, but I think they should be favored to win that one. Now they got back-to-back games at the Ravens and at the Chiefs. Really, the only chance I think they have is going into Kansas City, and that's, to be honest, that defense is going to have to really stymie that Chiefs offense. But that's really their only shot, and even then, I really don't see them winning either of those games. Versus the Falcons, that's going to be another tough one, but the good thing for them is that Kirk Cousins does not play well out on the West Coast, at least from what we've seen. So again, if they ever get the win there, that would be nice. At the Raiders Week 12, another game that'll be a little tough, but again, three road games in 4 weeks is never fun. But I think again they could definitely get that game done. So through Week 12, my guess is going to be around 5-7, 4-8, 6-6 at the best. I think they get to. I don't think they're going to beat the Browns in Week 13 on Monday Night Football. They could pull off that upset, but I don't know for sure. My guess is that best case they're going to be like 6-7. I don't think 7-6 will be a possibility for them through 13 weeks. But again, with the late bye week, again, if they're able to get some wins early in the season, again, they have some actually really nice stretches. Like this 4-week stretch, they could go 4-0 to be honest. So don't take that out of the question. But yeah, this team again, they don't have a super duper hard schedule. So yeah, 6-7. Again, they could have a chance of making the playoffs. And then look at the last 4 weeks of the season, not too kind for them. Again, they have the Colts in Week 15 at home. I don't see them winning that one. They could, but that'll be a tough one to win. The Chargers on the road, that game will definitely be an interesting dynamic to watch. Definitely think they can pack the house for that one. The only issue is, I don't know how Bo Nix or whoever the quarterback could be at that point in the season will be able to play against that Chargers defense, at least in LA. We'll see how that game goes. But again, I don't think that'll be, again, a super easy one. And at Cincinnati and at Kansas City versus the Chiefs on the season, unless the Chiefs, again, are already in the playoffs, clinch the 1 seed. I don't see either of these games being a win for them. So we look at it, what I say, 6 and 7, probably that's a chance where they could be. Let's say they're going to be 5 and 8 realistically through week 14. Week 15 versus the Colts, I don't think that's a game they're going to, again, particularly win. Maybe they do. Let's say they pull off the upset. 6 and 8. At the Chargers, give them a loss. They already beat them. What do we say about around here? So 6 and 9. 6 and 11, I think, is like where they're going to be. Best case, I think they finish 8 and 9, which again is best case scenario. Again, if everything goes right. And even then, that could be a little bit of a stretch. So again, yeah, this team has a schedule to win games. So again, you can't tell me that this is like they're freaking screwed for this season. But at the same point, a lot's gonna have to go right for this team to again be a winning ball club in 2024. And now looking at the Chargers, little brothers to the Rams, they are like there's no really debate there. This team, obviously, they kind of F themselves over in the offseason. I'm not going to really get into that. That's for the roster grades for them. But more importantly, guys, this schedule, it's very interesting, to be completely honest. Because I actually think they could actually like win 9 or 10 games with this schedule, to be completely honest. But again, stuff has to go right as well. First off, versus the Raiders week 1. I think that should be a win. I don't know for sure. They struggled to beat them last year. And the Raiders are a better team than they were last year. So that game could go either way. At the Panthers week 2, I think they could absolutely win that one, but if their offense doesn't play the way they should, I think they're going to win. It's probably maybe a one-score game, but again, it's one of those that, like, again, they could go up by 2 scores and realistically win it. At the Steelers week 3, that's another game that should be pretty close, but honestly, again, if their offense gets shut down by a Steeler D, they might not win it. So 1 and 2 probably going to be a possibility. Week 4, though, I think they can pull off the upset against the Chiefs. I think they're going to at least beat them once this year at some point, so honestly, 2 and 2 is my guess where they're going to be through 4 weeks. Again, they have a really early bye, which I don't love for them. But, I mean, after playing the Chiefs, it's okay, especially with these next 3 games. At the Broncos, at the Cardinals, 2-game road trip. First off, at the Broncos, they haven't really played well there, at least offensively, in, like, a long time. So I don't think they're going to win that one. At the Cardinals, though, on the, like, wonky Monday nighter on ESPN Plus at 9 o'clock. Again, I get it for, like, the West Coast people. But, like, that's kind of weird. Either way, though, that game should be a win, I think. I don't know. Or probably around 500 is where they're going to be through week 7, though. Week 8, week 9 versus Saints should be a win. Again, I think they'll be able to get that one done. Week 9, though, at the Browns, probably not going to win that one. I mean, they won 2 years ago, so who knows. But, yeah, the Browns, again, with that defense, should be able to keep that Chargers offense at bay. So let's say 4 and 4, 3 and 5, realistically. Week 10, though, versus Titans, I think they're going to be able to win that one. One way or another, they're going to get that thing done. But then they got, again, 2 more home games as well versus the Bengals on CBS. That's going to be a tough one for sure for them, but you never know. Then obviously finishing out this homestand with a game against the Ravens. My guess they're going 1-2 during the stretch. Again, maybe they lose to the Titans and then they beat the Bengals or the Ravens for whatever reason. So, yeah. My guess they're actually, honestly, they'll play actually a good game against the Ravens, at least offensively, because they actually didn't do that last year. But through week 12, again, they have had that early bye week, so they haven't had a game yet. I mean, they already had their bye week. So let's say, my guess they're going to be on probably 5 and 6, 4 and 7, maybe 6 and 5. You never know. John Harbaugh, again, the Harbaugh Bowl, honestly, I think could go Jim's way. John and Jim, blah, whatever. Either way, though, back-to-back games. This 4-game stretch is obviously the hardest of the season. At the Falcons, honestly, they could pull off that upset. I don't know for sure, though. They're actually on Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs. Maybe they win it. Let's say they win this one instead. So, honestly, I do think this team could have a winning record, what is called through week 14. Will they, obviously? That's a different story, but I think they definitely could. And then the last 4 weeks are honestly a cakewalk. Not really, but they have a chance to win all 4 of these games. Again, they back-to-back road games in the season. They're never fun. But if they're like 6 and 7, maybe even 5 and 8, but if they're able to again really play well on these last 4 games, they can honestly make the playoffs. So the Broncos had a chance to win games. The real difference here is that again they have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs with these schedule. Like the last 2 weeks are so much easier than obviously the what is it called Broncos. So again, you look at this. Honestly, this week 16 game I think it's gonna be crucial for both teams to have a chance of making the playoffs. If the Chargers do it or not, I don't know for sure. But again, if they have these last 4 weeks are really nice, even though they have this really hard 4-game stretch here. So not very good balance for the last 8 weeks of the season, but they're all chances to win games. Again, I already said around probably 500 through here. So again, if they're able to, I don't know, maybe one of these games and have a winning record, what is it called, in these last 8 games, this team could absolutely, make the playoffs. Again, it's not likely they will, but they could. So don't keep that out of the question for the Chargers. Let's get to our next team, of course, the defending or back-to-back Super Bowl champs, Chiefs. And for the Chiefs, obviously they have a boatload of primetime games. Most of their games should be on national TV for anyone who is interested in that type of stuff. Either way, though, again, the preseason games at the Jags versus the Lions versus the Bears. Either way, they'll get into their actual schedule. First off, on opening night kickoff, they have the Ravens. That game will be rocking. I think they'll actually be able to get the win there. They usually play well against them at home, so give me them there. But versus the Bengals week 2, again, not an easy game. These first 4 weeks are not, again, the greatest for any team, but you look at it overall, this is definitely a game they could win. 2-0 is possible. I don't know for sure if they're going to be able to do that, because, again, that's back-to-back games against some really good teams. Then they go on the road to Atlanta. Honestly, if they start 2-0, I don't expect them to win this one on Sunday Night Football. Who knows? Maybe they do get that done now. Versus at the Chargers, again, that should be a win, but at the same point, they haven't always played well, again, at the Chargers there. Week 5, though, Monday Night Football versus the Saints, that should be a win. I mean, again, worst case, they blow, lay an egg in the first half and then do what they did against the Raiders 2 years ago. But looking at this overall, I think they should at least have a winning record here, 3-2, 4-1. Probably realistic for them. Off the bye, though, again, I actually like this week 6 bye for them, to be completely honest. It is not fun. At the Niners, that game's going to be a freaking brawl. They blew them out, though, 2 years ago, so, hey, you never know what happens. But, yeah, that game should absolutely be a really fun one to watch. At the Raiders, though, that game could definitely be a trap game for them. But, again, considering they put up 30 with that offense last year there, give me them there. Back-to-back games, though, again, at home. Versus the Bucs Monday Night Football, again, another game they should win. Honestly, it could go either way, though, depending on how it goes, obviously. Versus Broncos, that game, again, I'd be surprised they lose that one. Again, they lost one in Denver last year, so you never know. Back-to-back road games at the Bills. That's going to be a really tough game to win. Again, with the crowd and all that. 6-4, 7-3 probably. At the Panthers, I mean, if they lose that one, there's bigger problems in there. Short week, they'll go versus the Raiders. I mean, they always play well on short weeks, Thursday Night Football. Even if, remember, this isn't Thursday, this is Black Friday. Yeah, that should be a really fun one to watch. Versus the Chargers, though, on what is it called, Sunday Night Football. Again, another game that should be good to watch, but honestly, they're probably going to win that one. So, 8-4, they should absolutely win these 3 games, to be honest. Yeah. At the Browns, that game could run them into a little bit of trouble, but again, if they're able to play well, again, what is called in that 4th quarter, they should be able to win that one. Then, the end of the season isn't exactly the most, again, it's pretty unique, to be honest. First, the Texans on a short week, that game's going to be really fun to watch. Then, at the Steelers, that's a game they could absolutely lose, too. I'm not putting that into question. Then, again, they should go to Denver and be able to get that one done. So, looking at it, again, this team, when I say, like, 8-4, 8-5, 9, let's say 9-4 through week 14. My guess, they're going to probably go 2-2 in this stretch, getting 3 road games, 2 of them against pretty quality defenses, and obviously the Texans in the middle there. Maybe even lose to the Broncos. So, let's say, I don't even know, 12-5, 11-6, that's probably a realistic place for them. And obviously, again, pretty good chance to win. But I'll be honest, yeah, this stretch right here is kind of like the fat of the schedule. It's like not the hardest stretch. Obviously, at the Bills, at the Niners is not fun. But outside of that, they should at least win 6 games in this stretch, to be completely honest. So, unless that doesn't happen, honestly, this team should be pretty fine. Again, I don't see like a stretch where they really mess up, I'll be honest. Well, the start of the season obviously isn't too great, but again, still think they're going to have a winning record there. Let's talk after the Chiefs, though. Again, pretty self-explanatory schedule for them. They actually have a good schedule there. Not, obviously, they could slip up in some parts, but it's not the worst schedule I've seen. Alright, now looking at the Raiders, the final schedule before we get into the overall rankings. Preseason, they're at the Minnesota, and then they back-to-back home games at 10 o'clock versus the Cowboys and versus the Niners. Sorry about this sun. It's pretty sunny today. Let me just put it like that. Either way, though, this is definitely a wonky one, to be honest. At the Chargers, at the Ravens to begin the season. Not games that are going to be easy to win, but they do, what is called match the ball really well, actually, against the Chargers, in my opinion. Again, especially with their, the way they're going to run the football. At the Ravens, that could be an upset, but again, their defense is going to have to play really well, which is possible, obviously, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. Then they have back-to-back games that I really think, again, they should be able to beat the Panthers at least. Again, that game, they got to win that one, to be honest, because 0-2, that could definitely happen. Versus the Browns, that's a different story, but again, if they frustrated Sean Watson and their offense is able to, again, possess the ball for a while and at least score 20 points, again, I think they can get that one done. At the Broncos, week 5, I don't think they're going to win that one, to be honest. Again, I think it's just going to be a wonky week for them. 2-3, I guess that's honestly, they're going to be in one way or another. Versus Steelers, though, week 6, honestly, give me them to win there. Again, last year they lost, but I don't see them turning over the football the way they did last year really at all. So let's say like 3-3. At the Rams, that's a game I don't know if they're going to win. They could, but I don't know if their defense is stopping that or their offense is going to be able to throw the ball against that Rams secondary the way they're going to need to be able to. Versus the Chiefs, that's going to be a tough one to win. 3-5, I guess, is where they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be awful. 3-5, 4-4 probably. At the Bengals, you know what? I think they're going to pull off an upset. Honestly, they're going to pull off one of these upsets, honestly, at least before or after the bye. Give them the one before. Maybe they say they're like 4-5, 5-4. They could have a winning record. Week 10 is their bye week, which is honestly the best week to have a bye for any team, really. Again, if you want a bye week, obviously, in any part of the season. At the Dolphins, give me the Dolphins in that one. Obviously, last year they lost that one close. You could argue they win this one, but obviously, don't have Aiden O'Connell start this game because Jalen Ramsey is his daddy. Week 12 though versus the Broncos, that's honestly going to probably have to be a must-win. If they fall to 4-7 or like are 5-6, that's going to be a big game for them to win. And they have a short week again on Prime Video at the Chiefs. I don't know if they're winning that one. Obviously, they won last year on Christmas, but that was a different story for the Chiefs then. At the Bucks, though, Week 14, that game's probably going to be a brawl. I think they'll be able to win a lot of those this year, though. So 6-7, 5-8, probably going to be where they're going to be. Versus the Falcons in a wonky game, Monday Night Football at 8:30. I'm probably going to give the Falcons in that one because, again, Kirk Cousins last time he played the Raiders just completely dissected them. Yeah. Versus the Jags, 4:25 on CBS. That game's going to be fun to watch. I don't know if they're going to win it, but should be fun to watch. At the Saints, though, and versus Chargers, both winnable games in the season. My guess around 7-10, 8-9, maybe even 9-8 this season. They do have chances to win this games, but honestly, I think their schedule is a little harder for them to win than some of these other teams. That's all I got for the Raiders, though. Let's get into the overall schedule rankings for these 4 teams. Alright, and I think the hardest schedule in this division will go to obviously the Las Vegas Raiders. The reason I say that is because, yes, 8-9, 7-10, 9-8 are definitely places where they can be, but I don't really see a stretch where I'm like, yeah, again, they obviously have a really good Week 10 bye week, but there are some parts of the season where I'm like, if they just lose one of these games, I'm like, their season's over. They're just not going to come back from it. Because, yes, some of their schedule is forgiving. At the same point, though, a lot of these games are going to be close, hard-fought games. And at some point, that's going to wear them down. They're not playing any games where I'm like, yeah, they're just going to absolutely run over them. I don't see that. And for that reason, again, I think they have the hardest schedule in this division. At least for this team. But, again, good bye week. Chiefs, I think, the other reason they're third is because, again, they have the hardest teams on their schedule. But also, I think, again, just looking at it overall, again, they could absolutely lose some games that will prevent them from getting that number 1 seed. But obviously, in like all these other teams, obviously, they should be okay. Broncos are the second hardest, easiest schedule. Again, I already said that. I think they have a chance to win games. And that's really all you can ask as a Broncos fan right now. And again, I think their schedule does allow them to do that. And the easiest schedule in this division, I think, it does go to the Chargers. This is a team that, again, with Harbaugh, again, if they're able to win, Jim Harbaugh, if they're able to, again, win that Harbaugh ball, win some of these other tough games, they'll be able to take advantage of games in their schedule that are very winnable. And if they're able to get that done, this team absolutely can make the playoffs. Will they? Different story, but again, they have the chances to on their schedule. Again, if they win some of those tough games as well, they for sure should make it. That's all I got for the Chargers, and that's all I got for the AFC West. Hope you guys enjoyed the schedule rankings, and I think the Raiders are the hardest, Chiefs are third, Broncos are second. I think the Chargers have the easiest schedule in this division. We'll get over to the NFC tomorrow, starting with the NFC East. But until then, enjoy your night, and yeah, see you tomorrow.
Sent the whole cast together, but a few of the stars are back. Herbert going deep, downfield for Joshua Palmer, got it! Touchdown, Chargers! Whoa! Bang, 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 3 plays to the end zone.
I remember these Chargers. Here they go. This is almost an old Kansas City Chiefs play here. Going to roll away and come back all the way across the field with that strong arm quarterback and Justin Herbert.